you can differentiate the world both in emerging markets to a lesser degree and in developed markets to a somewhat greater degree between the winners and the losers from globalization, by which I mean the process of you know, increased trade, increased outward investment, increased offshoring that we've seen in the global economy since starting with China's opening in '81, but especially after the fall of the wall. Now, what happened when you brought those, you know, let's say, you know, 600 to 800 million people behind the Berlin Wall and within China into the global labor market, and then combined it with fairly high levels of state capacity, the concept I was talking about earlier, good investment logistics, you created a great incentive for profit-seeking industries to go overseas and to locate plant there, which then put a lid on incomes in the developed world. Globalization was the only part of it. Technology was also a large part of it. But globalization is what's being immediately blamed from it. Now, I mean, these are just the crude dynamics, right? There's a famous graph, Branko Milanovic's so-called elephant graph, which points out that if you look at the world since 1990, what's happened is you've had a dramatic increase in the incomes of people kind of in the high-functioning emerging market working class and middle class incomes. Their incomes have gone up by 20%, driven primarily by China. You've had a stagnation or a fall in developed market middle class incomes, and a very sharp rise in incomes of the top 5% in the developed markets. The immediate political problem, as I see it, is a gradual recognition that the fortunes of the people in that top 5% are now more closely tied with economic outcomes for 400 million people in China, let's say, than 100 million people in the Midwest, in the Midwestern Rust Belt, or in South Carolina, textile factories and things like that. And our political system is really not equipped to deal with that.